Om Om Yo Brahmanam Vidadhati Purvam Yo Vai Vedanscha Prahinoti Tasmai Tamha Devamatma Buddhi Prakasham Mumukshurvai Sharanamaham Prapadye Om Shanti 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 Vedanscha Prahinoti Tasmai Tamha Devamatma Buddhi Prakasham Mumukshurvai Sharanamaham Prapadye Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Namo Brahmadibhyo Brahma Vidya Sampradaya Kartribhyo Vamshirshibhyo Mahadbhyo Namo Gurubhya Sarvopaplavarahitaha Prajnanaganaha Pratyagartho Brahmaivahamasmi Brahmaivahamasmi Om वेदान्तार्थविभासकाय गुरवे शान्ताय सन्न्यासिने नानावादी नगेन्द्रसङ्गपवये योगीन्द्रवन्द्याय च मोहध्वान्तदिवाकराय भगवत्पादाभिधां बिभ्रते तस्मै भाष्यकृते नमोऽस्तु सततम् पूर्णाय बोधात्मने ओम् ब्रह्माहं यत्प्रसादेन मयि विश्वं प्रकल्पितं श्रीमत्स्वयं प्रकाशाख्यं प्रणौमि जगतां गुरुं यः परमात्मा जगत्सृष्ट्वा प्रविवेश पुनः स्वयं तं कृष्णं प्रत्यगात्मानं वन्दे गोपीमनोहरं यस्य प्रसादादहमद्वयात्मा विश्वं समस्तं मयि कल्पितं च तं सर्वलोकैकगुरुं सदाश्री स्वयं प्रकाशं गुरुमानतोऽस्मि गुरूणां चरणां भोजं प्रणिपत्य निरन्तरं तत्कृपालेशतोऽद्वैत चिन्ताकौस्तुभमारभे ओम् The second pariccheda of the text, Tatvanusandhanam, opens up by giving definitions of vritti, etc., and how this vritti is again classified as prama and aprama. With regarding to prama, which means prama meaning the valid experience. Prama means the valid experience. Because we can have experiences, but not every experience will be held as a valid experience. And therefore, the claim that since I have experienced something, it has to be real, will fall if we are able to understand what is valid experience and what is an invalid experience. And this can be understood through our classical example of the snake and the rope. So, the first experience that the person was of this is a snake. And then, after having adequate light in the room, he was able to have the experience that this is a rope. And both the experiences are not about two different objects, but they are about the same object. So, when it is the same object, you cannot have two different experiences and two opposite experiences as this is a snake and this is a rope. Now, we very well are able to accept that this is a rope is a fact about that object. So this experience that it is a rope becomes a valid experience. Now we will have to apply this standard to everything sooner or later, because we are already experiencing the duality that I am a parichinna karta bhokta jiva. And this world is in front of me, which is real, and I'm constantly experiencing it, so on and so forth. So what happens over here is that why is the experience that this is a rope is accepted as valid and this is a snake is rejected as invalid, though both of these are your own experiences? What has allowed you to make this choice? And then we understand in the earlier case that the pramanam chakshurindriya was not able to function properly because the andhakar, the darkness in the room was inhibiting the Vishaya Indriya Sannikarsh, the contact between the object and the means of knowledge. Presently, in this case, the Indriya becomes the means of knowledge. And therefore, there, where the Pramanam is able to function properly, we accept that only that as a valid experience. You see, what allows us to accept something as valid experience is this. So, where the pramanam functions, we take it as a valid experience. So now, vritti, which is classified as prama and aprama, so prama meaning the valid experience generated by non-defective pramanas, is called as prama. This prama was further divided as the Ishvara Ashrita Prama and Jiva Ashrita Prama. When the Jiva also has the Prama, the knowledge, the valid experience, this valid experience or valid knowledge is now further divided as Parmarthiki Prama and Laukiki Prama. You see, what is the Parmarthiki Prama? The Prama which is generated through the Mahavakyam is Parmarthiki Prama. And the Prama which is generated by the Pramanas with regards to the world, Laukika, with regard to the loka becomes the laukiki prama. Now, he first of all, and that prama, the parmarthiki prama is, again we have to understand, is generated by Shabda Pramanam. Is generated by Shabda Pramanam. So it is prama, it is your own experience only. It is going to be your experience. In fact, it is. So then he says, or the author said, that even all our valid experiences are generated through six pramanas, out of which we have seen the definition of first two, and it was quite elaborate and also exhaustive. The Pratyaksha Prama and the Anumiti. So that the Prama which is generated through Anumana Pramanam is called as Anumiti. Now furthermore, he goes Upamiti Prama, Anupalabdhi Prama, and now Sadrishya. Sadrishyam, the Upamiti is being told now. Sadrishya Pramiti Upamiti. So we are on page number 164 in the physical text, and I think it is 198. Yeah, 198, page number, if you are using the PDF. Sadrishya Pramiti Upamiti. What is called as Upamiti? So the Prama generated by Upamana Pramanam is called Upamiti. Just as the Prama generated by the Anumana Pramanam is called as Anumiti. So by Upamana Pramanam, the Prama, the Vritti which is generated, is called as Upamiti. How is it? Sadrishya Pramitihi. There in which the Pramiti, the Prama, which recognizes, which considers what Sadrishyam, the similarity. It considers what is the factor. Just as in the Upama, what do they call, Anumiti, we had these two. What was that? That it was the Pratyaksha Linga, and also then after the what is it called? What is it called? You require Linga, Pratyaksha Linga, and Vyapti. Somebody answered, very good. Vyapti, if you remember. So these two are the factors which govern the Upamiti Prama. So what is the factor which governs the Anumiti? What is the factor that governs the Upamiti? And here he says Sadrishyam. What is it? Sadrishyam, similarity. It is. Okay. And then we have seen this, and the example that was the person who sees the Gavaya, the wild buffalo. So Gavaya. So he has not seen the Gavaya before, but he is told it is an animal which looks like a cow or a buffalo. But it is more dangerous. So if you are passing through that forest, you have to be very cautious. If you think that it is just some domestic buffalo or something, it will charge, and it is extremely powerful. It can even throw a tiger or a lion. So you are nothing. But one sweep of the tail also is good enough to give you prasad. So therefore, be very. And then he goes and then he sees. And so Sadrishyam, he sees and he says, oh, this is the animal that they are talking about. It is this Gavaya, the wild buffalo. And so now Sadrishyam has helped him. So he has not seen, not known what is a Gavaya, the bison. But now he sees, and he is also able to understand it correctly, know it correctly, as this is the Gavaya. So Sadrishya Pramiti Upamiti. Now he turns you to what is the Prama generated by Shabda. And the Prama generated by Vakyam, by the sentence, because sentence, what is the basic constituent of a sentence? The Shabda. So therefore, this Prama is called as the Shabdi Prama. It is called as the Shabdi Prama. So Vakya Karanika Prama Shabdi. Vakya Karanika Prama Shabdi. Okay. भक्ताभीष्टदसन्तानम् गोपीजनमरो मनोहरम् सत्यभामायुतं कृष्णं वन्दे सच्चित् सुखात्मकम्. This Balakrishna, who is the bestower, because there is some shloka in between before he goes to the Shabdi Prama, because it is a very important topic, and hence perhaps the author, Mahadevananda, has kept this one shloka invoking the grace of Bhagavan over here. Bhaktabhishtad santanam gopijana manoharam satyabhamayutam krishnam vande sachyat sukhatmakam. Kramapraptam shabdi pramam lakshayati. Shabda pramam or shabdi pramam, both are correct. Kramapraptam, sequentially, since we are going through all the 6 forms, now what is the Kramapraptam? So now in that list, the Shabda Prama has to be explained. How does he start that? Vakyeti, Vakya Karanika Prama Shabdi. Kim tad Vakyam iti akanshayam Vakyasya Lakshanam aha. Now, naturally, if this is the Shabdi Prama is the Prama which is generated by the Vakyam, so what should be your next question? Sir, what is it that we can call as a sentence? What is it? You know, we people have taken things for granted, but let us not forget that everything over here will demand that give us the proper Lakshanam. Unless and until the Lakshanam is there, Vastu Siddhi cannot take place, and that Siddhi meaning the correct understanding. So that Siddhi cannot take place. And over here we want to have the Siddhi, Brahma Siddhi only. So, and that is through Shabdi Prama. So Vakyam. What is Vakyam is defined. So Lakshanam also we have always seen that the author spares no efforts in doing the pariksha of the Lakshanam that is presented. So just by presenting a Lakshanam, it is not going to be enough. What is required? That the Lakshanam should withstand the test. And what the test is, that if the Lakshanam carries the 3 defects of Ativyapti, Avyapti, and
Asambhavana.
Asambhavana, if there are these defects, then that Lakshanam becomes defective, and so it will not be acceptable. So over here we have the Lakshanam of Vakyam. Every time we go through these definitions of various things, somebody please make a note of it. Okay, so now over here also 3 definitions in one Vakya you have received. What is called as Upamiti, what is called as the Shabdi Prama, and now what is called as the Vakyam. So the Mula Grantha actually is giving all of the definitions, and the Tika does the part of Pariksha. Kim tad vakyamiti akankshayaam vakyasya lakshanam aha akanksheti. Now, akanksha yogyata sannidhim sannidhi mat padasamudayo vakyam. What is vakyam basically? It is a padasamudaya. It is a collection of words. Padasamudaya. But that padasamudaya has to carry these three things: akanksha, yogyata, and sannidhi. So when that padasamudaya is with वाला होना चाहिए मत आकांक्षा योग्यता सन्निधि मत पद समुदायो वाक्यम. What is it? वर्ण समूह in the टीका वर्ण समूह padam. Even padam. Now you have another definition here. One has to be very alert, and please keep on noting so that that we can create even one whole thing of all lakshanas, definitions over here. Varna samuha padam. What is called as a padam? It is a collection of the varnas. Varnas meaning, the environment. Alphabet. With the Vyanjana and the Swaras. Nacha varnanam kshanikānam kramena utpadyamanānam katham samuhaha syaditi vachyam. Now we are entering into little deep water. Varna samuhaha, the Swaras and Vyanjanas together. Ghata, this is one padam. Ghata. How is this ghata word composed? It is just not two alphabet over there. Gha and ta. How many are there? Four. Ghakar, akar, takar, and akara again. And that's why, when people say ghat, it is not ghat. It is ghata. So the last is as if swallowed by people. So when people say Ram, the word does not end in makar, it ends in akar. So Ram, Shri Ram, Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram, Shri Ram, Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram. This is, you do it fast and then, it is, but ask somebody who has learned the Shiksha Shastram and he will say this Ucharanam is not correct. Earlier in my days with Tambe Swamiji, with all these, he used to make me read. He used to say that you read the book, the text, anything. Like sometimes even, there's Shiva Puran or something, or Brahma Sutra, Hashyam. And over there, in another 5 minutes or 2 minutes, he would say, he was any which ways deaf with one ear, but he, dard ho raha hai, meaning it's hurting the ears, it's hurting the ears. I said, what happened? What is hurting the ears? The way you read it, where you lose what is dirgha, rasva, and all these things, not right. Okay, so any which ways, varna samuha padam. Nacha varnanam kshanikānam kramena utpadyamanānam katham samuha syaditi vachyam. For samuha, for something to be called as a collection, all of them should be present at one time. So when you are going to say this is a collection, this is all these vidyarthis, all these students have gathered together. So gathered together means all of them are present together. If A comes and goes, B comes and then goes, C comes and then goes, D comes and then goes, this coming and going. Now, this is not a samoha. But look at this. Over here, the question is Vardanam Ksanikanam. So when Gha is pronounced, Ghakara is pronounced, the Gha, followed by Akara, the Ghakara already has gone into Avyaktam, unmanifest, and then comes Akara. That Akara goes and is replaced by Takara. The Takara goes and then is again replaced by Akara. So now you see this is coming and going, but how then can these be called as this be called as Samoha? This is the question. Varnanam Ksanikanam Kramena Utpatyamananam Katham Samoha Syad Iti Navachyam. Don't say that. Why? What is the reason that it should not be said like that? This question becomes, or this kind of a objection becomes invalid because ekashyana vishayasya eva tattvat. Because that dhakara, akara, takara, and again akara, all these varnas, and these are called as varnas, all these varnas are about one object only, concerning one object, knowledge of one object. Ekajnana vishayasya eva tattvat. So when you say ghata, you do not have four different knowledges. You see, when you say ghata, it is not four different knowledges or knowledge of four different objects. It is knowledge of one object and one knowledge only. And therefore, ekajnana vishayasya eva tattvat. In reality, it is concerning knowledge of one object only. So no matter how many varnas are there, and by nature, even if the varnas are kshanikas, understood that they are kshanikas, yet kshanikas meaning huh?
Momentary.
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 Even if these varnas are kshanikas, what will happen? That it is ekajnana vishayasya tattvat. They are ekajnana vishayaha, and therefore it can be treated as a samoha. Na cha ekajnana vishayatvam va katham kshanikānām iti vāchyam. So actually the answer is given. But now the Purva Paksha goes into more digging. And he says, Ekajnana Vishayatvam Katham. Are, how can these varnas, which have a momentary life, now have be concerning the same object? Knowledge of the same one object. Ekajnana Vishayatvam Katham Kshanikānām. So the teacher says, Iti Navachyam. That na is there previously, pull it over here and then see. Ekajnana Vishayatvam va Katham Kshanikānām iti Navachyam. Why, sir? Does anybody remember? Actually, I think, we have done this portion. Does anyone remember what is the answer without reading?
Already read, Swamiji.
We have already studied this portion, if I remember. Does anybody remember what is the answer without looking into the text? Chakresh, yaad hai tumhe?
Swamiji,
it
was said that the Kshanikatvat of Varna, uska proof kya hai? That was the point.
See, over here, then the thing is that the teacher says that Varnas, your claim that the Varna is Kshanika. Okay. So what is your whole argument and objection based on? It is based on by claiming that the varnas are kshanikas. So we will nip the problem in its bud. And what does he say? The varnas are not kshanikas. You see that the varnas are not kshanikas, they are not momentary. Go, now what? Now whose argument that this Purva Paksha is raising, his tower collapses. Because his argument is based on that the varnas are momentary. And now he says the varnas are not momentary. Now what? Where is the place for your argument? So, varnanam kshanikatve manabhavat. Abhava, there is an absence of any pramana which can say that the varnas are kshanikas. So he says, not this fellow, the Purvapaksha is also not going to leave that stage. And he says, what are you saying? Utpanno gakaraha, nashto gakaraha, iti anubhavaha. Now, when you are going to say gakara. So, in pronouncing the is pronounced, and in the next moment, do you hear the ga? Do you hear the ga in the next moment? No. So, obviously, ga was pronounced and it had life only of that moment of its pronunciation. Not before, not later. So earlier moment and the next moment is not occupied by gakara. So only that moment of its pronunciation is where we have found the gakara. And therefore, utpanno gakaraha. How is this gakara presently? It is utpanna, pronounced, born. And then in the next moment, nashto gakaraha. Iti anubhavaha is that is the anubhava. So now I'm going to say this is my pratyaksha anubhava, which is the pramanam, because what did you say? What did the Siddhanti say? Varnanam kshanikatve manabhava. There is no pramanam to prove that the varna is kshanika. Okay? What is he saying? That the varna is not kshanika, is not momentary. He says there is a pramanam, pratyaksha pramanam, experienced now by all of us. Utpanno gakara, nashta gakara is experienced by us. Iti anubhavaha. Pramanam. So this itself is the pramanam. He says, iti navacham. Don't say that. Don't say that means what? It is like putting a ban on some free press as these people are screaming on top of their voice. No, it is iti navacham means this kind of statement will not be valid. Okay, that is all he is saying. Tasya, now listen, Tasya uchcharanotpatyadi vishayatvena tatra apramanatvat. Now he says, tasya means kasya? Gakarasya. Gakarasya uchcharanotpatyadi vishayatvena, that the uchcharanam, the pronunciation of that varna gakara, can it be called as the utpatti of the gakara? You see this? How he is drawing, making a very close observation. Can the pronunciation of that shabda be called as the utpatti of the shabda? So,
no, Swamiji.
He says, why not? Because tatra tasya pramanatvat. For such a claim that the ucharanam is the utpatti. You understand there are two different things. One is ucharanam and another one is
Varna.
Utpatti.
Utpatti.
Utpatti of Varna.
Utpatti.
Ah. Oh. Punita, are you getting that? Because there are these Sanskrit words.
Swamiji, I'm trying to understand through that. Yes, I'm getting it, but I'm still trying to understand.
But when we use these words like utpatti, etc., are you understand?
Utpatti, I did not, but rest I did.
All right. Utpatti means creation.
Okay.
Okay. Birth is called as utpatti.
Okay, Swamiji.
Okay. So now he is saying ucharanam. Ucharanam, you understand.
Yes.
So the thing is, can ucharanam. So now I am pronouncing this word, a word in the sense, this varna. What is that? G.
G.
Gakara of Ganesha. I'm saying that Ga. This is simply pronunciation. Can we treat this pronunciation of Gakara as its utpatti? It is pronunciation definitely, because this man is pronouncing it, saying it. But can this pronunciation be called as its creation? Is the question. And over there, the Siddhanti says, the teacher says, no, it cannot be treated as one and the same. Why? Apramanatva. There is no pramanam to prove this point, that ucharanam is the utpatti. Okay?
Okay.
We are getting into a lot of details. That's why I have always been saying that Tatvanusandhanam, though is a Prakarana Grantha, but how is it? It is a little advanced book. Otherwise, people will say, oh, no, we are learning Tatvanusandhanam, but there is no life management techniques and some tips for our daily living and all. Hey, Baba, we are doing Tatvanusandhanam. Over here. Anusandhanam means contemplation of that reality. And so we are interested in the Shastra Siddhanta. What is it that Shastra finally, the Upanishad wants to show us? And that is the preparation that we are doing. The rest of it are just, your daily living tips and all that you can find in plenty. WhatsApp, people are sending it every day morning. There. Over here, this is not what you find anywhere. So, tasya uchcharanotpatyadi vishayatvena tatra pramanatvat. Then, nacha pratyuccharane gakaradi vyakyutpattihi kuto na bhavati iti vachyam. So now, the Purva Paksha says, look here, I am going to say Gakara thrice. So there is going to be repetition of the pronunciation. G, G, G. Got it? So there is pratyucharanam, repetition. Or let us say, I say Gakara, you can also say Gakara, means G. Pratyucharanam. So now over here, repetition of the pronunciation has taken place. Pratyucharane gakaradi vyakyutpattihi kuto na bhavati. Why can't we say that in saying ga, and ga, in thrice that you have said, now there is the utpatti, the making. You have manufactured gakara 3 times with every pronunciation. Pratyucharane gakaradi vyakyutpattihi. This gakara is one vyakti, that individual pronunciation. G, k, kh, g, kh. Each vyanjana and each swara is one vyakti, every individual. They have their own existence, right? You cannot say that Gakara is not there, Akar. We are here. So over here, Pratyucharane Gakaradi Vyakyutpatti Kuto na bhavati. Why it is there? You have made your air somehow has risen from the lungs and gone to the guttural areas and then hitting in those vocal cords in those respective places. Gakara has come. Second Gakara has come. So this is Ucharanam, and this Ucharanam, Pratyucharane, a new Gakara has come. The old Gakara has gone and the new Gakara has come. So every Gakara, every Ucharanam is an Utpatti because it is new. Kuto na bhavati. So why should it not be like that? So over there, iti navachyam. Got it? Iti navachyam. So yeah, why it is navachyam that it is not a new Gakara or a different Gakara? Because soyam Gakara iti pratyabhishya virodhat. Because just as you have said that anubhava is a pramanam, pratyaksha, so over here, again your pratyabhishya is also your experience. And that, because it is your experience, it also should be treated as pramanam.
Pramanam.
So here it goes, soyam gakaraha. Now let us say, I say ga, and I request you to repeat the same varana as I have said, ga, and then you say ga. Okay? Then what do we say? Oh, same gakar. It is the same gakar because it is ga only that you have said. And therefore, we are able to say, well, you have made the correct pronunciation as I have pronounced. Okay. So I say Ram, and then you say Ram. Perfect. You are going, if I say Ram and you say Ram, I will tell you, no, you have made a mistake because it is not the same way. So say Ram, and then you say Ram. And therefore, there is pratyabhishya. Pratyabhishya means recognition, cognition, and recognition. That you understand the difference?
Yes, Swamiji, recognize the same.
Huh?
Yes, Swamiji.
Recognize what we have already recognized once.
Correct, correct, correct. So this is recognition. So soyam gakaraha iti pratyabhishya virodhat. Otherwise, how will you understand this other fellow has said the same thing as what you have said? Because we have had an oral tradition of the Vedas. Correct? So why for this, whatever number, 5,000 years or even more, we have even more. Orthodox system says even more. The modern people are saying 5,000 years, or whatever, 5,000, 5,000. But the teacher will say the Veda, that line, that mantra, and the student has to say exactly this in the same way. You cannot even change the swara, the matra, or anything. That's why when they are doing this Gayatri mantra, no, it is saying this is not Veda. It can be you're just doing it. It is a song, but it is not Veda. And unless and until it is Veda, it cannot be effective. It will not deliver its result. Oh no, we thought that, our children, we are teaching, oh, beta bol, Gayatri mantra bol. Oh, no. It has to be the same way. So why there is the same way means there is pratyabhishya. There is. And therefore, for the Pratyabhijna to take place, it has to be the same person, same Vyakti. So the Gakara that you have pronounced is exactly the Gakara that I had pronounced. And that's why we can say it is correct, it is the same thing. So Pratyabhijna, otherwise, if you say that every Utpatti, every Ucharanam is a new Utpatti, then there cannot be Pratyabhijna. It's not possible even to recognize that, well, you have said correctly the way I have said it. Correct? The same, exactly the same way. Soyam gakaraha iti pratyabhijna virodhat nacha pratyabhijnanasya sadrishya vishayataya jati vishayataya va anyatha siddhatvena avirodha iti vachyam. मुख्यत्वे बाधकाभावाद उत्पत्ति विनाश प्रत्ययस्य अन्यथा सिद्धत्वस्य उक्तत्वात्. Now there is another thing that he may have raised a quick thing that, well, Pratyabhijna over Pratyabhijna can take place even if it is sadrishyam, similarity, or belonging to the same species. And that's why Pratyabhijna can take place. It not necessarily has to be the same person for recognition. What are the other factors which also can bring Pratyabhijna? Sadrishyam, something that is similar, or belonging to the same jati. Sadrishya vishayataya, jati vishayataya. Jati meaning same kind, same species. Jati vishayataya va anyatha siddhatvena avirodha iti navachyam. Why? Because where does the mukhya pratyabhijna take place? Where does the mukhya pratyabhijna, is it in similarity or is it with the same person?
Both.
Mukhya.
No, with the same.
Mukhya.
With the same.
Same person.
Same Vyakti.
In similarity.
Same,
With the
same
same
Vyakti.
persons.
Same. Soyam devadattaha. So, soyam devadattaha. Similar devadattaha is not the thing. What is the mukhya pratyabhijna? Is it in sadrishyam or is it in the same one?
Same jati hai.
Same one. So jati vishayataya, sadrishya vishayataya, you cannot just say and then that's why pratyabhijna. He says pratyabhijna is taking place and therefore it is the same gakara. Nanu tarhi varnanam nityatve. Now he takes you to another level. He says, but sir, you are Advaiti, Vedanti. What are you saying? That Advaita Vastu Brahma alone is Nitya. If you are going to say these Varnas, Ucharanam of the Varnas can take place, but it is not the Utpatti of the Varnas. So the Varnas are already existing. And every time the Gakara will be said, it will be the same Gakara, but Ucharanam will be different. Pronunciation will be different, but it will be the same Gakara. You understand? Why are we going into all these details? Because Shabdi Prama. Why was this? What is that Shabdi Prama? It is the Pada Samudaya. Vakya Janya Prama is called as Shabdi Prama. What is Vakyam? Pada Samudaya. What is the Pada?
Varna Samuha.
Varna Samuha.
Varna Samuha. Then what was the problem? That how can the Varnas make a collection? Why the Varnas cannot come and make a collection? Because the Varnas are momentary. Then how can they be assembled together? Got it?
Ji Swami.
And we are talking about the Shabda word. The written thing is not the thing. What is written in ink is only the Ruparanga. But we are talking about Shabda. These Ruparanga, these lines and curves that you have is only the representation of the Shabda. Got it? Is only
Yes,
the
Swamiji.
Yes,
representation
Swamiji.
of the.
Yeah.
That is not Shabda.
Shabda.
Shabda is what will be perceived only by the Shravanendriya. That's why you can write Om in Devanagari like this, in Telugu in different way, in Tamil in different way, in Malayalam in different way. In Gurumukhi, that same Om is written in different way. In English, you can write the same in Roman alphabet. But every time anybody, a Telugu person says Om, what will it be? Om. A Tamil person says Om, what will it be? What is the pronunciation? So that all those curves and lines are only representation of the Shabda. But Shabda is finally what is perceived by the
Yes.
Shravanendriya.
Shravanendriya.
Got it?
Yes, Swamiji.
Therefore,
Ji Swami.
the question that he had raised is, how can Pada be Varna Samudaya? Because the Varnas are momentary. R is said, A is said, Ma is said, A is said, pronounced. So Ram, this one word, how can it be? Because it cannot be a word itself, because it cannot be a collection, because R comes and goes and is replaced by A. R is replaced by Ma, Makara. Then that Makara is replaced by Akara. And thus you have the word Ram. Got it? Now, if you are going to say that these Varnas are the Ucharanam is done, but the Varnas are Nitya, and therefore you can recognize them. If you are going to say the Varnas are Nitya, now what is challenged? The Siddhanta of the Advaiti is challenged. What is that the Vedanti says? What is Nitya?
Only Brahman is Nitya.
Only Paramatma, Brahma is Nityam. Only Paramatma is Nityam, Brahman is Nityam. Now you have got one more Nitya thing, and that is the Varnas. Got it?
Ji Swami.
Yes, Swami.
Yes, Swamiji.
And therefore, what will happen? Along with Paramatma, what other things are also Nitya?
The Varnas also are Nitya.
Nitya. Got it? As a, huh? Now, what will happen? As a result, the Shruti which says that Paramatma alone is Nitya, nothing else, only Parameshwara. Now, this Advaita Shruti will be challenged
Virodha.
because there is other thing also which will stay Nitya along with Paramatma. Got it? What will be challenged? This Advaita
Yes,
Shruti will be challenged. Nanu tarhi varnanam nityatve. If the varnas are also considered to be nitya, advaita shruti virodha syat. Let it be. Can you just say let it be and then it okay? Huh?
No.
Why not?
No, Swamiji.
Why not?
मानहानि होगा स्वामी.
Huh?
प्रमाण विरोध होने से मानहानि होगा.
Pramana virodha will take place.
Ji Swami.
Pramana virodha means not just, Paramatma, you're saying no papam, not papam and all that. The Pramana Virodha will take place. So it is not you are also right, I am also right. On Mondays you are right, on Tuesdays I will be right. Okay, let us have a compromise. Not like that. Pramanam. So Pramana Virodha will take place. That Shruti Virodha means what?
Pramana Virodha.
Pramana Virodha.
Pramana Virodha will take place. Otherwise, somebody will say, okay, on Mondays, let us call it a rope. On Tuesdays, let us call it a snake. So, what is this? Some sort of, what compromise is this? Huh? Does that hold any water or what? No, nothing. So, Shruti Virodhasya, and which Shruti will be opposed?
Advaita Shruti.
Advaita Shruti will be opposed. Iti chet, then this will be the case. The Siddhanti says, no. Why not? Then he is going to tell you that. And here, just a line before we close. Pratyabhijna virodhena tesham kshanikatva nirakaranat. Now, all that we have said, because otherwise, Pratyabhijna, which is also your experience, that is also pramana established through pramana, valid experience. So that you just cannot say that, oh, we will only believe, we are believers of Shruti. Otherwise, Pratyabhijna is also your experience, something that is established through pramanam. So here, Pratyabhijna virodhena. Now, due to this Pratyabhijna Virodha, all that is said is Kshanikatva Matra Nirakaranat, that we are denying its momentary existence. That does not mean that the Varnas are yet is another entity which is Nitya along with Paramatma. We have not said that. All that we have said is Kshanikatva is not acceptable. Why is the Kshanikatva not acceptable of the Varnas?
Because it can be recognized.
Correct. Because there is Pratyabhijna, the Pramanam will stand over there. Okay? Then, sir, how are you going to say that Paramatma alone is Nitya and nothing else? How? So over here, we will see. That's a small little thing, but we will see it when we meet tomorrow. Before I close, happy Sankranti, happy Pongal to all of you. And Lohdi, happy Lohdi, whatever each region calls, be happy, that is more important. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashikadau Vande Bhagavanto Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyoma Vadvyaptadehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Thank you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Swamiji. Pranams.
Thank you,
I'm
Swami.
glad to see you all of you back.
I know it's a pleasure.